What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're talking about 5 things to consider before starting a homestead. Make sure you watch them all to the very end. Let's jump into it. All right, so starting off with number 1, and that is location. This is going to be incredibly crucial. The location that you have or you're looking at purchasing, what is that land like? What is the soil type like on your land? Is it rocky? Is it clay? Does it face to the south or does it face to the north? If it's facing to the south, that's fantastic. That's an ideal scenario. You're going to get lots of sunlight. If it's a northern facing slope, for example, you're going to get a lot less sunlight facing north, especially if you're in the United States. So you need to think about those things. Is it all pasture or is it all woods? A lot of these things are really crucial to think through. How far are you from town to be able to run into the store? If you need to take your kids to some type of extracurricular activity, maybe that's a football practice or a soccer practice or a guitar lesson, how far away is that from your homestead? These are going to be really, really crucial things to think through before just hopping right in and buying a piece of land. And the other thing to really think about is how much land do you actually need? If you're just wanting to garden, get some chickens, maybe have some small livestock animals, you don't need a ton of land, y'all. You can produce an insane amount of food just on a couple of acres. As we know, buying land is incredibly expensive. Don't go into a bunch of debt just to buy your dream homestead, y'all. I'm a huge fan of living lean, of living below your means. And if you go out and buy this big piece of property, especially at current interest rates, and you're strapped with a mortgage, that is not going to be an ideal scenario. That's not going to be fun. And it's going to really restrict what you're going to be able to do on your homestead. Now, number 2 is financial resources. As I was just mentioning, it does cost money to buy land. It costs money to homestead, to start a garden, to build chicken coops, to get chickens, to get other animals. You're going to need some money set aside for your homestead. And again, that's why I'm recommending don't go into a bunch of debt to go out and buy a bunch of land. With land comes a lot more maintenance. If you've got 10 plus acres, you're going to need farm equipment, just the labor involved just in maintenance alone on large homestead sites. It's a lot, y'all. And if you don't have the money to be able to do this, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be frustrated. And so start small. You don't need a ton of land. You can always go up and buy more, but you will need some money to launch this homestead. Number 3 is time. How much time do you actually have to run your homestead, to do animal chores every morning? Just doing chicken chores alone in the morning, that takes, 10, 15 minutes. If you've got other animals, you need to milk an animal. You need to do other things in the garden. It just takes time. And most people have really busy lives. And so don't bite off more than you can chew. I always recommend starting with chickens. It's a great entry-level animal to get on your homestead. You get eggs. Start with a garden and grow 5 to 8 different crops that you're excited about and get really good at those. But again, you're going to need to make sure you have time set aside. If both you and your spouse have full-time jobs off the homestead, just think through it. Make sure that you have enough time to actually be able to achieve the vision that you have for your homestead. All right, number 4 is skills. There are going to be some skills that you need to learn to start homesteading, but the best way to learn is by doing it, y'all. Get those chickens, start the garden. Again, one of the biggest mistakes I think people make is they want everything. They want cows and chickens and pigs, and they want a massive garden, and they want to do all this stuff. But again, you're limited by time, and you need to master a handful of skills. And no one learns by sitting on the sidelines, so you need to just make sure that you jump in. But again, don't bite off more than you can chew. Start with the chickens, as you can hear them in the background. Start with the garden, and you will begin to acquire some of those incredible skills that come along with homesteading. Number 5 is, what are your goals? That's going to dictate the land base that you want or need for your homestead. Again, I think 1 to 2 acres is ample space to be able to raise meat chickens, have laying hens, have a huge garden, even get some small ruminants. You've got a lot of options, and you can produce a ton of food on that land base. But if you want milk cows, if you want beef cows, if you want some of those larger livestock animals, you're going to need a larger land base, which means you need more money. And so you just really need to think through, what are your actual goals for this homestead and what are you wanting to do? And ultimately, that's going to give you the vision and clarity you need to launch your homestead well and do it right. If you found this content helpful, y'all, click that like and subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.